Hey, everybody. I'm Tom. That's Rob. This is the Tom and Rob Show.
Welcome.
Welcome.
Hello.
So, yeah, wonderful cold open right there.
Right?
Yeah, we
And
were just
sorry if
talking
you hear
about
my
something. Yeah.
my coffee pot is finishing up real quick. So you might hear some gurgling, but it's all good. We're just
It's a
making some
good gurgle.
coffee.
It's a good
It's
gurgle.
a good gurgle.
Not like, like murdering someone like Dexter.
No.
We
No, I've
don't
never watched Dexter.
we
Dexter.
don't condone murder on this show at all. Like literally don't murder people. It's horrible.
No,
Um,
that's really bad.
but Dexter's great. We do condone the watching of Dexter. Well, I condone it.
I'm gonna have to start watching that.
You should.
Even though I know there's probably like 30 seasons of it, so
No, there's only like 6 or 7, and honestly, like you only need to watch the first 4.
that's it.
Yeah, pretty much.
Oh.
It
All
kind
right.
of goes
How many episodes per season?
13ish.
Oh, that's not bad at all. Okay.
No, not really. And it's just like I stopped watching in season 5 because it just started to get stupid. Like
Uh,
I mean, it's not bad. It's just like the first 2 seasons are so good, and then season 3 kind of sucks. But then
That's kind of
season
a bummer, though.
yeah, but I mean,
Usually the shows get better as the seasons
well,
progress.
it depends on the show.
Well, yeah, I guess so.
Like Misty and I were watching True Blood for a while because it's not horrible.
It's
Um, but like after, I mean, season 3 was really the high point of that show, and then season 4 was kind of okay, and then it just goes completely off the rails, and we're just like, yeah, we're done. The show stopped even trying to make sense or have fun.
I'm currently pouring my coffee so everyone can see.
I can't see it because, as we determined last week, now the audience knows our secret. We can't see each other. So it's really
And
it's like
there we go.
the YouTube audience is at a severe advantage to us. Aside from the fact that they're watching it 24 to 48 hours after it actually happened.
Right?
So,
Oh man. Ooh.
sorry, not sorry.
They just got to see the bad side of me.
No, that's
That's
fine.
horrible.
I don't have a good side. So,
Yeah. I just gotta lose some weight, but look at this. Oh yeah, there we go.
tell me about it. I'm not even going to bother. But no, so this past few days has been kind of interesting.
Yeah, definitely,
Um,
definitely.
we had
So,
with PSX was this past weekend, and it was weird for me because the only time I've ever watched PSX before was last year, and I was
mm-hmm.
watching it on my laptop in a hotel room in Sweden with a couple of friends of mine, and we just spent the whole time snarking about it. Because really all they had to show off last year was like some Street Fighter stuff and Res on PSVR.
Oh yeah. Okay.
100-foot
I remember that.
robot golf. But that was
Yep.
really it, and it's like, hey, no offense, but that was all they had. And it's just whatever.
I mean, and then you have the Game Awards right
Hmm.
before that,
Yeah.
which is
It's a whole other
some
big can of worms. Because it's like,
yeah.
you know, like a lot of people are obviously it's an award ceremony. People are always going to be upset about it. Like I remember how I felt back in, I think it was 98, when Saving Private Ryan lost Best Picture to Shakespeare in Love.
Mm,
And I, to this day, have not seen Shakespeare in Love, so I can't comment on whether I personally feel it's a better film or not. But Saving Private Ryan is one of the great films of the last 50 years.
oh, absolutely.
And, like I got, especially at the time, I was like 16, 17 years old. So I was still young and everything. And I had wizened up with age and, you know, but now it's just like, as I've gotten older, I've come to realize that award shows in general really don't mean a damn thing.
No, they really don't.
They really don't, because it's like, the Academy Awards are one of the ones that actually has like some relative like clout to them,
Eh,
because I mean, I'm
yeah.
saying relative,
It's
but like at the
uh,
end of the day, it's all subjective. It's all how people feel about individual things. So like everyone is not everyone. That's a gross generalization. I'm sorry, and it's highly inaccurate. Um, but a lot of people are up in arms over the game of the year this year, as
Oh
determined
my
by the
god,
Game
yeah.
Awards, not by anyone else, and certainly not by this show. Not to say that we don't think that the Jeff Keighley's pick for Game of the Year isn't an absolutely amazing game, because it is.
Yeah.
But I can certainly understand why some people are frustrated that Overwatch took Game of the Year. You know, like one of some Facebook people I know, like I'm not going to call them friends, no offense to them at all, but some people I know on Facebook were all like, I can't believe that it won. It didn't even have a single player. And then another friend of mine, a mutual friend, chimed in with like, dude, have you even played it?
Yeah.
You know, and it's,
Most people haven't.
yeah, most people haven't. Well, not,
Uh,
you know, like
it's
it has a very large installed user base, but yeah, a lot of people haven't played it
they haven't even
because,
tried it.
yeah,
It's
which is unfortunate because that game is super dope. Uh,
well,
but
I mean, like I've mentioned this before. Is most people who are kind of just like upset about it is because they just think that it's a rip off of TF2, and they're just like, oh, it's just garbage. It's just Blizzard trying to milk people for more money. And the thing that they don't get though, it's it's new with fresh characters, fresh like weapons, abilities, and all this other stuff, and it's visually attractive,
yeah,
and it's just fun to play.
yeah, absolutely. I
And that's
think
what people don't get.
I was talking with a friend of mine who's also a partner in Twitch streamer, General Mittens, and I believe the start of the conversation was, you know, a little over 36 hours ago. I sent out the tweet saying, you know, controversial tweet: Overwatch deserved Game of the Year. Excuse me. And Mittens came back with me. He's like, out of the 5 nominations, only 2 of them were original IPs, and Overwatch was the clear winner.
Yeah.
Because honestly, it's, you know, 3 out of the 5 nominees were sequels, and then
Mhm.
one of them wasn't even just like a 2 sequel; it was 4. You know, it's
Yeah.
like, you know, so many of the people who are up in arms over Overwatch winning are some of those same people who go, "Oh man, I really wish we didn't have all these sequels. I wish we had new stuff." Like,
Yeah,
you
it's same
can't,
people.
yeah, you can't sit there and complain about the never-ending string of sequels and then get actually mad when something new comes out and is good,
Yeah.
you know? But and
People
Overwatch
just need
is
to
really good.
start yeah, people just need to start giving, I think, games like and I've opened up to more games recently, games that I would be like, you know, it's kinda dumb." But then I've played
Portal
them.
2.
Portal Portal 2. Yeah, no, that's true though. I was just like, "Oh, it's a puzzle game, man. I'm not gonna really like it. That's kinda silly." But the game's visually attractive, and I enjoyed it. You know, and it was something new that I haven't played. You know, I play mostly shooters, and that's not a shooter. And I think people just need to just open up more, just give things a shot before you judge a book by its cover. You know,
No,
and everyone always says that, but people still don't do it.
no, absolutely. You know, it's like I was having this conversation like 2 years ago, actually, with your mom of all people, uh, because she was refusing to play Far Cry 3 because, quote, she doesn't like that kind of game. And I'm just like, okay, but it's more than just that kind of game. You have to give it a shot. You can't just say, I don't like a game or a book or a TV show or a movie,
Mhm.
and then not attempt
Yeah.
to engage with it.
Like, you have no say in anything until you actually try it. Then
Yeah,
you can give your opinion on it.
yeah, it's like, you know, 16-year-old me who's saying Shakespeare in Love doesn't deserve Best Picture, despite the fact I still to this day have never seen it. You know, and
Yeah.
I can't make a qualitative statement like that without having taken part in it. You know, um, but no, I really enjoyed. Like, I enjoyed Overwatch. What I've played of Uncharted, I really enjoyed. But at the end of the day, it's like Overwatch was new. Overwatch found a way to take some bits of Team Fortress, some bits of League of Legends, put the 2 of them together with a very diverse and wacky range of
Yep.
characters and make it work. And not just make it work, but make it good. because at the end of the day, it's like people look at Blizzard, and I love Blizzard. I've been a fan
Yeah,
of theirs forever. Blizzard doesn't really do anything new. Like it's the truth. They don't invent genres. They don't, they don't reinvent the wheel. But what they do is they take something that's already exists and they polish it to a diamond sheen. Like with World of
totally
Warcraft,
correct.
yeah, with World of Warcraft, they took the EverQuest model and said, how can we make this better? How can we engage more people? How can we make this the how can we bring this to the level of product that people expect from Blizzard?
Yeah.
And they did. Diablo,
They
taking
oh,
action
yeah.
RPGs and saying, how can we make this ours? And then now we have Overwatch. Overwatch taking, how can we take a relatively arcade first person shooter with a lot of competitive framework to it and make this a Blizzard game? And their answer was make it super polished, make it super colorful and ridiculous, and let
Yep.
me hack Hanzos as they try and run away and tell Rob to kill them.
Tom likes Sombra.
A
He
lot.
plays Sombra. It's like his new main.
Oh, she totally is, man.
So
Like she's the flanker that makes sense to me.
it helps though. It helps because I was a DPS person. I was kind of like a Reaper main. I go in and just try to handle the tanks. But I started playing Lucio, and I found out that I'm a complete savage at Lucio.
He's pretty good Lucio, that's for sure.
I see. I've got backup with that. I'm a pretty good Lucio, and
Yeah.
it's kind of because I used to complain anytime I got into a game. Oh, nobody wants to be a healer, or somebody's really crappy at being a healer. And then I decided to pick it up. I was just like, oh wow, look at that! I'm a good healer.
Yeah, I mean, first
But
time I stepped into Overwatch, my first match I played is Mercy.
mm-hmm.
Because I wanted to give it a shot. It's just like, you always see people not wanting to heal, and I was just like, yeah, well, whatever, let's see what it's like.
Yeah,
And I just really enjoyed Mercy, and then I picked up Lucio. I really enjoyed that. I spent some time with Zenyatta. I really like Zenyatta. He's really hard.
yeah,
Um,
it's a learning curve.
yeah, I
See
still haven't.
that's what I like. That's what I like about the characters. There's some that because it's not like one of those games. It's not like Counter-Strike to me. You go into Counter-Strike playing competitive, you're lost.
Mhm.
Everybody else knows what they're doing. But when you go into Overwatch, if you're new, there's characters that are there for you that a beginner can use and get used to before venturing into another character.
Yeah.
I do like that. It's a nice thing that they put into the game. It's pretty much built for everyone,
Mhm.
new and old.
And the great thing about it too is that I think we could agree that the quote beginner characters are Soldier, Bastion, Reinhardt, and Mercy.
Yeah.
Right?
At Farah too. Farah is usually. I mean,
Yeah,
that's
and
the
Pharah.
first person I went to.
Yeah. But just because they're beginner doesn't mean that they're only for beginners either.
Yeah.
Because it's like there's a lot of very skillful ways to play Reinhardt. There are some
Mm-hmm.
amazingly skillful ways to play Mercy or Soldier, and especially Farah now that she never has to touch the ground.
Yeah.
Unless you're Sombra.
I mean, each character is very crucial, depending on what
Yeah.
map. If you're defending or you're attacking, or it's just so much fun. It's just so much fun. Unless you're a Bastion, you sit in one corner, then I hate you. But
Last night, I played a couple of matches. I won one. Exactly two. I won one and I lost one. The
uh-huh.
one we won, we were defending on King's Row, and I may have enabled a Bastion.
You enabler.
I enabled it. Well, I was playing Reinhardt, and there was a Mercy, and the Mercy sat on Bastion with the DPS buff. And I thought, hey, why not have a little fun with this? And I sat in front of him with my shield.
Oh.
And we got like a team kill right off the bat before they figured out how to flank around us. And then I was like, okay, we'll play for real now. But for a moment, it was just like I felt really dirty, but at the same time, I was like, I don't care.
And by the way, Tom's actually a really good Reinhardt.
I was doing a pretty good job of
pretty
tearing apart Genjis last night. So
like that's always good to have. I hate Genjis, man.
Well, Genji, this one Genji was all like, haha, I've never seen a Reinhardt who was capable of looking up. And I was like, surprise. Let me
Like Samuel L.
smash your
Jackson comes
groin into
out.
this wall. Which parts of you are
uh,
cyborg and which aren't? We'll find out.
yeah. It's just a fun game, man.
It
It's
really
just
is. And
even losing. Like
losing with
it's one of the
friends. Losing with
losing with
friends, not with
friends.
randos.
That
With
that's
randos,
that
it's
yeah.
horrible.
Randos is it's horrible. I just want to like yell at everybody in chat. But like with friends though, it's one of those games though. It's one of those games that like you can lose and I don't like flip out, you know? It's still fun.
Oh man.
Unless you do completely suck, then I'm going to yell at you,
Yeah,
but
no. Oh god, the guy we were playing Temple of Anubis. And the first match, this guy was all like, "Oh, I picked Sombra," and the guy's like, "Okay, you're
uh
gonna want to get behind them, and you're gonna want to mess with their team." And I'm just like, seriously, did he just really type this out? But especially like the thing that really bummed me or that really got to me was that like in trusted levels in Overwatch don't really mean anything regarding skill. They just mean how much you
no,
played the game.
exactly.
And I had like doubled his level, and he's telling me how to play Sombra, and I'm like, okay, whatever. Maybe he thinks that I, took some time off from the game, and I'm just coming back in. He didn't know that I'd been rocking Sombra with you all night, and we just been rolling face. And then we win that match, and we go into the second one, and I picked what, Reinhardt,
Yeah.
and he's like, you're gonna want to like stand in between.
I
You're gonna want
remember
to put
I
yourself
seen
in
that.
between the attackers and everyone else. And I was just like, wow, obvious comment is obvious.
And then didn't he say he said
Oh yeah, he
like
swore.
F you?
He swore. He
Yeah.
swore, and
He
then
was like F you.
yeah, and then I came back with like, hey, did you guys know water was wet? Finding ways around that Blizzard chat filter. But seriously, it's like, come on, like at the end of the day, you got to give people a benefit of a doubt. And it's like, okay, I went from playing Sombra and doing well at Sombra to playing Reinhardt and doing well at Reinhardt. Maybe you shouldn't be telling people how to play the game that you're just meeting. It's like it's
Yeah.
one thing if like the match been going on and I decided to like play Sombra like Soldier. To be all like, hey, maybe you should try flanking or something, but don't open the match assuming people are idiots. Because like he didn't go to you and be like, oh, well, you're Lucio, so you should ride on walls and heal people.
Wasn't he the one though? It was one of the games that he who was a widow
was
and was doing absolutely nothing. Like I was watching him when I died, and then he was just missing every
he was sitting
shot.
up on top of that archway going into the final objective on attack and literally doing nothing. And I'm there.
Like,
I know, and I was playing Torbjorn, and he's like, hey, you want to set up your turret in a good place? And I was like, really?
And my like, you might want to kill some people.
My turret was savage going into that.
Dude, you're a good Torb too.
Well, you just find a good spot and you place a turret, and then you just sit there and hammer at it for a while.
Well, it was to the point where they kept trying to come into that last like push, and they kept forgetting that your turret was behind them when they faced the actual like objective. Oh, it was so funny. People were legit just coming for you.
Yeah, Symmetra was trying to lay turrets to kill my turret. Although there was that one match where I got play of the game because I killed the Symmetra turrets.
Oh, you killed like one person, then the Symmetra.
I killed one person at 3 turrets, and it was like play of the game. And it's just like, seriously?
Oh, okay.
The time that I hacked their entire team, allowing for a team kill, that doesn't get play of the game, but killing some turrets.
The turrets, man, those are crucial. So
yeah, right here, this conversation is why we think people need to get over the fact that Overwatch was Game of the Year at the Game Awards.
Absolutely.
That's not to say that we can't have this conversation about Uncharted or Titanfall or anything like that, but every match of Overwatch has a story.
Yeah, it's just, there's always something you can just like talk about for weeks and weeks. It's like, oh, remember that one match? And oh yeah, remember this match?
And dude, you're not coming with cars.
Yeah.
And like who even knows what the new heroes are gonna be, so it's like
it's just lots of fun.
And all the new stuff is free.
Yeah. Oh, and I told you that they were gonna do a winter event.
Oh,
I knew it. They announced it today that it's I think the 14th. They're gonna do a winter event. Skins, obviously, and all that good stuff.
Hold on a sec. Let me go over to my
Mm.
Overwatch news website. I must see this.
Oh yes, it's gonna be good. I said that they did a Halloween one. I just stuttered hardcore right there, but they did a Halloween one. They didn't do any. Did they do anything for Thanksgiving? I'm not too positive,
No, they didn't
but
do a Thanksgiving one because I think Thanksgiving is a very
it's they
regional event.
can't. Yeah, but it was kind of just like you knew that they were gonna do something for Christmas. Maybe they'll have like a sweet like I don't know like Yeti stuff.
Yeah, I'm
It's
not
all gonna be
seeing
like cool
anything
stuff.
on this.
No,
I'm not
they
saying
didn't show
yeah.
anything.
Well, no, no, no. I'm not seeing any even news for this. I think you're
Oh, if you
making
go
it
on
up.
Overwatch's Twitter, they posted it there.
Okay.
I forget.
Let's play Overwatch, I think it is. We shouldn't be giving them any free press. Yeah, they don't sponsor us. So
No, they don't.
that'd be pretty cool though.
It'd be cool if they did. Yeah, that'd be pretty sweet.
Oh yeah, okay. That's a pretty cool GIF. Happy
Yeah, right?
holidays.
Yep. So maybe there might be snow on some maps, and then you get new skins and
That's
all
what
that
it
good
looks
stuff.
like. That's King's Row with some snow.
Yeah.
So yeah, go
Maybe they'll
check
do
out
like the mini game. Did you ever play the Halloween mini game? Remember that?
yes,
Yeah.
I
So
did.
maybe they'll have something like that. I missed out on that. I
Yeah, you
didn't have a
did.
good enough team.
Dude, if there's gonna be a
I
Halloween mini game, like part of me wants Winston to get a Santa skin because he's already hunched over and he could put a Santa in his bag.
That'll be cool.
'Cause
That'll be cool.
Winston or Roadhog has got to be Santa. One of
Oh,
those two.
Roadhog would be so
And if
fun.
it's Winston, then Tracer needs the elf outfit. But at the end of the day, Tracer's already got way too much stuff, so they need somebody else.
Yeah, there's not a lot of Winston stuff.
Mm-mm.
Poor Harambe. Never getting the love.
Yeah. So there was some other stuff that came out from the Game Awards. Sorry. I just
Yes.
had to do it. Um
Nope. It had to be done.
yeah, I think the funniest thing for me to come out of the whole night was came from one of the best things was when Jeff Keighley finally got to deliver the Game Award to
Oh
Hideo
my
Kojima.
god.
And the sheer amount of shade that Jeff Keighley and later Guillermo del Toro on Twitter
Nope.
threw at Konami was epic.
It was probably the best thing ever.
Yeah, it's just because I mean Konami since Metal Gear Solid 5 has been a shadow of its former self. They don't
Yeah.
care about anything.
Nope.
You know, they're making pachinko machines. Oh, and that Metal Gear Solid zombie game with crystal zombies because that makes some level of sense.
Yeah, no. Nope.
So, but hey, but at the same time, it's really nice to see that Hideo Kojima finally gets his due reward. I'm gonna express a very unpopular opinion here.
Okay.
I don't like Metal Gear Solid.
I've never played it.
I have played 1, 2, bits of 3, bits of 4, and a follower on Twitch was kind enough to gift me Metal Gear Solid 5, and I haven't even installed it. I
Yeah, it's I don't know.
I think it's an acquired taste. I think, or no, it's not an acquired taste. I just don't think it's for everybody.
Yeah.
Um, I think and I'm not saying they're bad. I'm just saying I don't like them. I think that's a very important distinction to make. I will personally speaking, I will very rarely say that I think a game, a book, or a movie is bad. Well, not so much with movies, but because like for a lot of things, I don't philosophically believe that there is such a thing as like this is gonna go very Socrates here. I don't believe that there
Mhm.
is an objective universal definition for good or bad.
Yeah, I can agree.
Um,
It's not everything made is made for everyone.
yeah, no, exactly.
You know,
So it's
so
like Metal Gear Solid. I don't like it. I think they're great games. I think, though, I will say that players don't generally get to play enough of them.
yeah.
Um, they end up watching a lot of it, but they're just not for me. You know, like I think that framework of games with a different story, and I'd be all over that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, his new project looks pretty promising. It looks really really cool. Death Stranding. It looks what?
No, no, it looks
I
like
mean it
who even
it
knows what it
looks
looks like?
but from what we saw, I
But
mean, see, the thing with me though, I'm like a really big like fan of like undead stuff, and then when you saw like the skeletons walking with like the full gear on, I was just like, okay, this could be cool. And then it lost me after the whole inside the tunnel thing, but I don't know.
yeah, who even
You
knows? We know absolutely nothing about it. It
yeah
has a completely ridiculous title, and
yeah
Mads Mikkelsen is in it.
yeah.
I mean,
I
and
don't
that's
know.
the most important thing. Mads Mikkelsen, that guy's great.
We shall see.
Yeah, I love him.
We shall
He's
see.
Danish.
Is he?
Mhm. He's in this great
Uh,
Danish movie called The Hunt, which you should check out.
hmm.
Went to see that
Did
in
not know that.
theaters. Good stuff.
Did not know that.
Yeah. He's been in a lot of things recently too. Like he was in that horrible remake of Clash of the Titans.
Hmm.
That I will say was objectively bad. But
I mean, yeah, you have it's either like with movies for you.
well, look,
You're
man.
very
There's correct ways to do things and there's wrong ways to do things, right? And I'm a very firm believer that everything in a screenplay needs to have a purpose. Like every character,
yeah.
even if their purpose is literally just to express one piece of information, that's fine. That character has a purpose. A lot of Clash of the Titans had zero purpose. It existed solely to exist, which is very realistic because that's real life. Things exist because we exist. But in a movie, things need a purpose. And if a character is there
Yeah.
solely to look cool and not advance the plot, and then shows up later for no reason, but just to wave, to be like, hey, these people aren't dead.
We're still a thing. Yeah.
That's pointless.
Yeah. Okay. All right.
So,
All
but
right.
that's where I stand because it's yeah, and I'm done. I'm done with it there. We'll talk about it later. Um,
There is a lot of I'm 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 glad that Doom did win some awards.
yeah, I didn't play Doom.
Doom
It looked really
I
good.
didn't play the new one. I played the beta, and it's very fast paced. I just kept getting blown up a lot. I was like terrified, but um
Yeah, it looked like a
I
big departure from Doom,
yeah,
but
I do like
still Doom.
this. It's still Doom.
Yeah.
I like the way you could. There's actually a little part in the map, and it goes back to like classic Doom, and you can play like the old level, which is kind of cool.
They did that with the recent Wolfenstein, not the most recent one, but the New Order, I think it is.
Mm-hmm.
The Wolfenstein reboot, which was super amazing. Like, did you play it?
Did not play it.
Oh my god, it's so good. Like it's
Did not play it.
ridiculously good.
I honestly think because they had the Doom live at the Game Awards. Did you watch that? Did you see that part?
Yeah, we were talking at the time actually on
Oh yeah,
we were
we were.
texting each other at the time. I think it sounded cool, but it just didn't like video game soundtracks aren't meant to be performed live
No, it's. I mean,
because they're
I
just
like
they're
I like
loops.
that too. That's very suggestive as well. Because I do really, really love the God of War soundtrack because it's an orchestra. I
Mhm.
love orchestras. I absolutely love. I could go to every orchestra wherever they were playing that and Uncharted. Uncharted's music is very nice because it's an orchestra.
Halo.
But Halo, yep, there's another one.
I got
So
to see was it the Salvatore Michael Salvatore, I think it is, the co composer of that.
oh really?
Yeah, when I Misty back in 2008 got us tickets to Video Games Live for my birthday.
Oh, that's cool.
If you have a chance to go see that, you should. And because Salvatore was in and around Chicago, he came on and he conducted their Halo bit.
Dude, that's
Yeah,
awesome.
no, that was super awesome. And
Just to
then,
like hear
no,
that
the
echo.
best though is E3, was it not last year, but the year before? I met Marty O'Donnell.
Hmm.
Like, got to real quick. Wasn't Yeah, I don't even know when it was anymore, but he was just sitting around in the main hallway before E3 started, and I got to go up and chat with him. And really nice guy. He apparently he's a little known fact, unless you listen to the early episodes of the Bungie podcast, is that he composed the original Flintstones kids jingle.
Really?
Yeah. So
What? Oh, that's
I shook
cool.
his hand and I was like, "Hey, I've been a fan of yours since the Flintstone kids."
This is a Flintstone
Yeah,
kid.
and then he just like jokes because I'm a tall guy, I'm like 6'2", and he's just like, "Well, see, they worked out for you." And then he was at the Ubisoft party too, and we hung out there for a little bit. He's a really awesome guy.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's a pretty cool dude. So,
That's cool.
um, yeah. So I don't even know how we got started. We were talking about video game scores and best music and all that stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even remember, like, because I missed the first like 20-30 minutes of the Game Awards because I was out on Misty and I went out to dinner and then went on a Pokemon walk.
I mean, it
Um,
was pretty much just them talking about Kojima and stuff like that, and they did the whole backstory of what happened last year and how he should have been here, and then why he didn't accept the award, just because he didn't want that dirt on his plate. He didn't want to like think about it, so it went through all that, and then it finally like got into the awards. So I mean, you didn't really miss that much.
no, then I guess I pretty much saw everything.
Yeah.
I really, honestly, the only reason I watched the whole thing was because I wanted to see the Mass Effect Andromeda gameplay.
Guys, before we get into anything, before he goes off, all right, this is the only reason why he wanted to watch this.
Mhm.
And uh, literally, I could see him as like a child, just like jumping for joy when it finally was announced on the show. He texted me, he goes, "Here it is."
I'm very lucky to have a few friends on that team.
Yeah. Well, it's a game that actually, is you there's a lot of heart that you put into that game.
Yeah.
It means something to you. And
Hold on a sec. Let me pull up my Steam real fast. I'll let you know how many hours I played on the PC version of Mass Effect 2.
so have so how much did you play like on console then?
Oh, I don't know how many hours I played on that. PC was my primary thing. I've played it through a few times on console as well. I've purchased the
Okay.
entire trilogy like 2 1/3 times. Yeah, I'm not even kidding.
I believe you.
Mass Effect 2, I have logged on PC 137 hours.
Oh, that's quite some time.
That's 6 complete playthroughs at about 80 to 100% completion.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's dedication.
Yeah, I love that game.
Wow.
That is
Well, there are multiple endings, right?
yeah. Well, no,
Yeah.
Mass Effect 2 really only has
Oh,
one ending.
okay. It was
3 had
3.
3 endings and then a fourth one got added in. But
Well, that was because people complained, right? Of how
don't open this can of worms unless you want to spend an hour talking about Mass Effect 3.
another episode.
Another episode. Brief aside, shortly after Mass Effect 3 came out, I was podcasting with a couple other friends for a different site. And every episode for 3 months after Mass Effect 3 came out ended up being a Mass Effect 3 episode. Every single one. So,
All right, well.
but yeah, so the footage debuted and I messaged a friend of mine who will remain anonymous. Not that they gave me any information back, but just because I don't want people like going out and being like, "Oh, you have all the Mass Effect details."
Yeah.
And I messaged them and I said, "Who is my new Turian friend? Can I date her?" That was it. And the only response I got back was, "I think you'll be happy."
Well, that's pretty solid then.
I mean, it's not even solid. That just means I'll be happy. Like, to be
Yeah.
honest, my friend knows that,
Well
like, I don't just play the games because I want to date aliens. I play the games because the characters
well, some people
are
do play the game to
engrossing.
date an alien, all right?
Huh?
I said some people do play the game to date an alien, all right?
Yeah, that's absolutely true. That said, though, my femshep totally romanced the crap out of Garrus.
Mm.
Just saying. Look, man,
Yeah,
Garrus.
I was seeing some people were kind of. I saw some upset people because they were like, "Ah, I don't want to have to grind at items and all this other stuff at the game." And
But I'm
I
sure
was
that those
just,
people had no problem in Mass Effect 2 scanning planets for hours on end.
yeah. So I'm just,
Just
I personally I like grinds. It keeps me
well,
playing the game.
yeah, you can't please them all. I mean,
No, you can't.
that's
You
the
it's
that's just the plain simple truth of it. And
yeah,
honestly, like Andromeda looks so good. And I don't just mean
yeah.
like the graphics. Like I mean like visually that game is super appealing. But it
I
just
agree.
the opportunity to apply the old world order of humans, Turians, and Asari to an entirely new situation. It just I can't wait. And getting to see the gameplay of it was just like yeah. But I mean, again, we don't want to talk about Mass Effect all day. Um, let's talk about something else.
So how about, because this is something that uh eh, that I kind of giggled and chuckled about. It was the Trending Gamer Award
Which I think is kind of a
when
weird award.
Boogie got it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I mean it's cool that they acknowledge, like the hard work and like really like big YouTubers stuff and the times and that they put in. But you didn't agree with Boogie winning the award.
I no, that's not accurate. I don't
Or well,
disagree. I don't like
you don't,
Boogie.
okay, you just don't like
No, I don't like his persona. I just
his
I
persona.
I don't like PewDiePie either. You know,
Okay, I mean, yeah, a lot of people
yeah.
don't like him though.
It's just
Just
it's like at the end of the day, it's like the YouTube communities that I really follow are Rooster Teeth. Like
okay.
I follow Achievement Hunter, their Let's Play channel, and Funhouse. Those are like my three main go-tos, and like Jim Sterling as well, because
Mhm.
God, he's cynical as hell, and I love him. Uh, but he's not like overly cynical, like not depressingly cynical. He's like
Yeah.
it could be so much better, and he's like the kind of complainer I like because he actually offers ideas on how to fix it. Like I don't like if someone's going to
S
complain, like don't just sit there and tell me what's wrong with it. Give me a solution.
yeah. So is that like one of the reasons why you don't like his persona? Because it's just a dude who kind of just flips out and destroys things
Yeah,
instead of
I just I
actually like.
that's not entertaining to me.
Yeah, no, I could see that. I could see that.
It's like a good example is like the Pixels movie, right? Versus we're going to say this is the end.
Mhm.
Pixels is a bunch of cheap laughs. And if there are people watching us who liked Pixels, look, I don't. I think I personally am offended by the existence of that movie. And I think that because like for me, I grew like I'm obviously younger than Kevin James and Adam Sandler, thankfully. But
Thankfully.
that like the story of those characters growing up is in a way it's very much my story because I grew up with video games. I grew up going to arcades. I grew up playing Nintendo and all this stuff. And the fact that with the exception of Kevin James, whose character swore off video games until the events of the movie, goes on to become Mr. Fat President, and everyone else ends up like in jail or working in Geek Squad
Yep.
and is a socially awkward, has to like forcibly kiss a drunk woman person. Like, I'm personally offended at that personification of gamers because we're not like that at all. Like I'm not like a huge person to talk about like where I've ended up professionally. I work at Starbucks and I'm damn proud to work at Starbucks. Would I like to work somewhere cooler? Oh heck yes. But at the same time, I'm not living in a basement. Yes, my neck has a little bit of a beard on it, but it matches the beard on my face. I'm an independent human being who
Yeah.
isn't socially awkward generally, unless I'm playing it up for comedy purposes. Um, and I have a pretty darn attractive wife.
Hey.
Not that that is a measure of where I've come in life. Because hey, if you want an attractive wife and you have one, awesome. If you want to be single and that's your thing, awesome. You be you. But like gamers aren't crappy stereotypes.
Everyone's gonna be trying to Google your wife now.
That's fine. Good luck. She totally shares my last name. So, but no, at the end of the day, it's just like I hate stereotypes.
No, it's
You
definitely
know.
kind of like a
But on the other end of that
negative
spectrum,
thing.
all those cheap laughs, not to say that This Is the End didn't have cheap laughs, but they built really interesting situations. They built their character based on, or they built their humor based off of the characters. And seeing Michael Cera get impaled in the first 20 minutes of that movie by the street post while he was high on cocaine and looking for his phone was one of the best moments in cinema history. God, that was ridiculous. Sorry, that movie's great.
Yeah.
But yeah, so that's where I'm at. And I just I feel that, well, I'm not saying that Boogie's humor is cheap, but to me personally, it just feels
It's just not
cheap.
for you.
It's not for me. It's not the kind of thing that I find funny. It's not the kind of thing I find entertaining.
Yeah.
You
I
know,
mean,
and like
kind of
Funhouse is
just
pretty cheap at times when
yeah.
one of their weekly videos is basically them looking up Rule 34. So,
Yeah.
but yeah,
it kind of he's kind of like on the same path. Like you don't, prefer, I'm not gonna say hate or because hate's kind of like a really big word, but you just don't prefer PewDiePie is because he kind of he's more aimed towards the children. So that's, like I can see, like, when a younger person sees him flip over a table because he's playing, whatever D&D or something, that's humor for the younger generation. Same thing with PewDiePie.
yeah.
And
Hey, more power to those guys for
no,
finding that
absolutely,
audience.
absolutely,
Like, I mean, I'd love to have their problem.
exactly. Yeah.
So hey,
Right.
everyone at home watching this or listening on SoundCloud, please refer us to 10 of your friends, then have those 10 friends refer our show to 10 of their friends. And
You
within
should.
12 cycles, we'll have referred the entire world to the Thom and Rob show. So let's keep it up.
Let's do it.
I just made our
Let's
show
do
a
it.
pyramid scheme. There's no financial compensation for this, though, except maybe for us. But
Yeah. Yeah.
oh man, we started the show going one place and we ended up going entirely somewhere else.
It's kind of how the shows go, but
Why
you know
do we
what?
even bother with notes?
We should just start just talking.
We should.
Because that's just usually just how it goes.
At some point, we're gonna have to figure out how to do these cameras live and probably just set like a time, and then just hop on Twitch and just like pirate Twitch as our own radio show.
I'm liking this idea.
Or YouTube,
I'm thinking other
or
people
both.
would like that too. I mean, I keep getting asked by people, why don't we stream some of these shows? And I'm just like, I mean, we could.
We definitely could. We should definitely stream some Overwatch again.
Oh, I'm 100% down.
Yeah,
I will
we
stream
totally
every time.
multi-stream that, and then people can get to see my angry faces.
They can see the Rob, he's hurt. If you want to kill him, go ahead, go kill him.
No, that was it was the last. It was like that was the last match of the night.
Yeah, it was.
And Rob's friend Pale was playing Reinhardt, and I was Sombra, and Rob was playing Reaper because somebody else had picked Lucio, and he's like, "Whatever, man, whatever. I'm just gonna go DPS.
I'll just go play DPS then."
And they had a Hanzo who was just pissing us off, and I went after Hanzo. I didn't know Rob was with me, and I went after him as Sombra, and I hacked him. So he was just trying to run away because he knew he was over and done for. And then Rob came in out of nowhere, and I'm just like, "Oh, you got him, Rob." And I just continued on about my way, and it was probably
like I finished him off
ever.
Yeah, it was like the most polite. It's just like, "Oh, you got him, Rob. Yep, he's dead. He's dead. Okay, let's
All
carry
right,
on.
cool. Thank you. Well done, Rob. Well done. I'm going to continue on behind and see if I can harry their defenders. If you guys would like to continue on, and maybe we
Dude,
can get
your
a team
hacks
kill.
help out. Your hacks help out.
Dude,
They
like
helped me in so many times, especially the Reinhardt when he's like shielding, and then you're just like, nope, sorry, dude.
I still think my absolute favorite is when I can manage to sneak around their team and get at their mercy.
Oh, that's yeah. That I mean,
And
that's
it's just
that's a
like all of a sudden it's like mercy
crucial
shut
part.
down. And then the moment mercy is shut down, you just start seeing everyone else in their team drop.
Yep. I mean, once that Mercy's down, it's game over. You can just get a team kill right there and just
Yeah,
start pushing.
unless they have a Lucio, at which point it's like, come
Well,
on.
yeah,
But
yeah.
Mercy can stand up for herself and fight pretty hard. So
Well, Mercy's pistol's pretty crazy.
yeah, it can like I that one match I played Mercy, I soloed a Reinhardt down with it.
Did you?
Yeah.
That's kind of sad.
I got behind the Reinhardt and he just wasn't paying attention. All of a sudden he was dead. He was just, I imagine
He
on
was
his
just
end of things, he was like, what the heck just happened? And then he watched the kill cam and he's all like, god damn it. Yeah.
oh my god.
Sorry for the gross
You're
generalization.
just-
Reinhardt from that event, if you're watching, I'm sorry for generalizing you as some random raging game nerd. I'm not sorry for killing you at all. But I'm
with
sorry
Mercy.
if I hurt your feelings with the portrayal of your character on the show.
Oh man.
Um, yeah.
There's a lot. I mean, I do really want to. It's just something that I just have to do. I do want to give credit to like, that Dragon Cancer, just because that was just like one of the most emotional moments I've ever seen in like gaming history.
Mm-hmm.
Just for some of you guys that don't know what the game is about, he's he's a father, and his 4-year-old child went through cancer, and pretty much the game is about his experiences going through cancer with his kid, and it was very very emotional, like, and like as Tom said, and I said the same thing, like it was just one of those moments where you just wanted to like hug the guy,
Yeah.
and then just like it.
Even more than that, I want to buy his game. Like,
Yeah.
I don't necessarily play it. Like, I want to give some level of support.
Yeah,
You
and
know?
that game did win, Games for Impact, best like impacting game that kind of impacted people like really really deeply, and he 100% deserves it.
Yeah.
That game. I'm sure a lot of people can relate. I'm sure a lot of people have lost people, due to, cancer and stuff like that, and
Well, I think at the end of the day, it's just everyone is
it's
lost.
exactly everyone is lost, and oh wow.
Yeah.
It was just one of those games that just kind of I just wanted to put that in there because I think that it does need to be said that and that was it was
I'm looking it up right now. It's $9.99.
yeah, it's $10,
Yeah, it's
and I
$9.99,
think
and there's also the $15.99 thank you for playing bundle, which comes with
yeah,
thank you for playing the what is it's like a making of or something. So but either way, like yeah, it's like a making of and looking into the family and all that
yeah,
stuff. But yeah, I mean, it's just I support anything that really, like, at the end of the day, it's one of the one of the reasons I really like games and also books, because books and games really give the audience an opportunity to really step into the role of another person.
yeah,
And games don't really touch on it too much because more, like I'm gonna call Titanfall 2 out for this, but like in that game, we literally just step into the boots of generic dude. Like Jack Cooper, the character in
yeah,
Titanfall, is
and
this completely forgettable human being. But every now and then, a game like that, Dragon Cancer, comes along, or one of my personal favorite games from the entirety of this year, Firewatch.
yeah,
And I'm really kind of burned that Firewatch didn't win Best Narrative. I mean, that said, I didn't play Uncharted 4, which was the actual winner. but just the narrative of Firewatch just struck a huge chord with me. And don't be surprised if next year it shows up on the list for one of our games of the month. Because I'm gonna make Rob play it. It's just gonna happen.
Yeah, I've never played it, and I it's actually on my my list to get. I just never got it.
Yeah, I adore that game, and I need to play it again. But so it's just like games like that Dragon Cancer and Firewatch and Gone Home, Event Zero, and a few others I know I'm forgetting off. This War of Mine are so devastatingly important because they find a way to get gamers and game players into situations that they generally wouldn't be in.
Yeah.
And it builds a level of empathy, which I think the world is sorely lacking right now.
Oh, absolutely. That's
I think to close out my thought on this, a good friend of mine and absolute genius, a guy by the name of Jason Vandenberg, who some people probably know because he's the creative director on For Honor. He gives a talk fairly frequently called The 5 Domains of Play. And he has started applying research psychology to looking at games and gamers. And the takeaway from the entire talk is that for game developers to become better game developers, they have to first become better people. And the way to become better people is to understand the gamers, the other developers, and everyone else, and to cultivate a stronger sense of empathy. And I think it's something everybody needs to do, is to cultivate a better sense of empathy to become better human beings. Now I'm going to get off my soapbox, and sorry for lecturing you guys on like my personal philosophy for life.
No, it's good though. Yeah. It's always good to actually just touch base on that stuff. So
yeah, I think we've rattled on enough. So what are you putting in the arcade this week, Rob?
Okay, so this week, it's gonna be on a retro console.
Uh-oh.
All right.
Uh-oh. Let me pull up on the spreadsheet here. we do actually, we have a spreadsheet that has all of our picks in there. I made it because we need to have it so that way we don't like nominate.
We gotta figure out a way we can like show them of what we picked with that open up a spreadsheet. I'll have to make like a something and just
we'll figure it out.
We'll
make something on the internets.
The console starts with an N.
Okay. Is it Neo Geo?
64-bit. And 64. All
right. What's the game?
I know a lot of people are probably just already thinking just like, oh my god, it's gotta be this one. It's gotta be this one. But it was one of the first games I got on the N64.
Shadows of the Empire?
Nope.
Damn.
Nope. It's Turok.
Okay.
I can't see his face.
Turok 64. I was definitely shocked.
Yeah, it is Turok. And that is just because it was one. It was like one of the first games, because I've always been into like dinosaurs and stuff, and it was just cool to play a dinosaur hunter with like these explosive bows and going through these caverns with these overly large scorpions, and then you know the final fight with the T-Rex. It was an adrenaline rush.
Point of order. That was not the final fight.
No, it was not the final fight, but it was the one that had the most adrenaline for me because I did not want to go anywhere. It was just kind of just like a, I don't know. I just always just fell in love with that game, and then when they released the other Turoks, and then they actually remastered the original Turok on Steam, which you can get it now, which I do have it, and it was just like a really badass, cool game to be a dinosaur hunter, and I was able to just go and just kill dinosaurs and go through these puzzles, and Yeah, I said puzzles. I guess I used to play puzzle games. It was
No,
just a
you
really,
played a first-person shooter that had puzzle
it's
elements.
yeah,
Because
but
every
it's
first-person shooter back then had puzzle elements. Look at
yeah,
any of
yeah,
like the original Dark Forces, Jedi Knight,
yeah,
Doom.
yeah. I guess it was just like the first game that I guess got my adrenaline going. Just because there was just like huge dinosaurs coming after you. It was
Yeah.
like one of the first games that I was terrified to like leave out of a bush because I might have a velociraptor coming at me or something, and it just made me feel badass when I killed him. So
You
I don't
know,
know.
you
I don't. I don't.
you've
You're kind of iffy with this right now. I
I'm
can. I can sense
amazingly
it.
iffy with this game
I can
because I
sense this.
remember an entirely different game. But I'm not going to exercise my veto powers. I
Okay.
understand why you want to put this game in the arcade, and I'm not gonna say no because
Okay.
there are dinosaurs in it.
There's
But no,
that's what I'm saying. You
but
can't. You
seriously
can't
though,
say no to dinosaurs.
yeah, yeah. Well, I love dinosaurs, man. Like
Exactly.
I have a lot of fond memories of the game too. But at the same time, it's like I even remember thinking back then, like, man, this game's kind of crap. But
What?
yeah, I don't like it. But I
I
mean,
don't know.
like,
I guess it was just one of the first games that I ever picked up that actually had dinosaurs in it. I was young. I loved dinosaurs. I was like, oh my god, a game with dinosaurs. This is amazing.
yeah, I think it was like 13 when that game came out. So,
Yeah.
but again, as I said, I'm not going to exercise any vetoes. I'm not going to make you really defend
Okay.
it. You've done a
Okay.
good job there. I agree that you feel that it belongs in the arcade. Do you like that? You like that right there?
This is the first game that was kind of iffy.
Yeah, that's
Some
pretty
had
iffy. I
some
mean,
yeah.
well, it's like we're at the point now. It's like because it's like okay, we've thrown in Halo, which is
Yeah.
iconic. Like there, anyone who says that that game isn't super important is an idiot. SOCOM
Straight up.
2 important. Eternal Darkness that one was iffy.
Yeah.
If especially like if you haven't played it, like that game's iffy, and I love that game. Yeah, but next week, I mean, really now it's like, yeah, because especially
It's
because another
gonna
thing too is for people since we haven't made the arcade spreadsheet available for everybody, I've worked my Microsoft Excel foo, and we have was it for like 8 tabs, so like we've put Xbox games, all generations of Xbox have their own tab, PlayStation has their own tab, Nintendo, PC games, we've added a tab for pure arcade games, board games, tabletop games, and collectible card games.
so really the game some of these can just be anything.
Yeah,
Like
that's
board
it though,
games and stuff, not just
yeah. Like, so I mean, now that I've put this out there, like I really think I need to come at you guys next time because next week's pick is mine. Um, I gotta come out with something nuts.
uh-oh.
I gotta do it.
Uh-oh.
It's gonna happen. Um,
Okay.
yeah. So, well, I think that's gonna wrap us up for this week. Next week we'll be back. But we're really recording it this week because I'm going to be on the road next week, but there will be a show next week at the normal time. And it's either going to be our game of the year special or our holiday show. One of the
We'll
two.
figure that out.
Yeah, we'll figure it out.
It'll be either one of those
Yeah,
two.
it's going to be one of those two. But this way, you at home watching there on the YouTubes or listening on SoundCloud or hopefully soon on iTunes. We'll have an idea of what's coming up next week.
Yeah.
So thank you all for watching. I hope you don't mind that we sipped coffee and went on and on about all sorts of random things, including like my philosophy on life.
I think people liked it.
Yeah.
It's we were just
They've learned a little bit more
no
about me today.
exactly, no notes. It was just two dudes just chatting away, drinking coffee.
Yeah, we are getting notes for next week. We need we need structure.
Yeah, yeah. No, yeah. Absolutely.
So thank you all for watching. I'm Tom. He's Rob. This is the Tom and Rob Show. We'll see you next week.
Later, guys.